What if the key to boosting blood flow down there, something most older men battle with, wasn't a pill, a surgery, or costly at all? What if it was just a single glass of a chilly drink you've ignored your whole life, and it worked in only 7 minutes? That's not exaggeration. It's what new research from Japan is revealing, and the results are shocking doctors and giving hope to thousands of men over 60 who thought their best days were gone. I'm Dr. Laura, a men's health doctor with more than 30 years of experience helping men reclaim confidence, vitality, and performance without relying on unnecessary drugs. I've treated veterans, retirees, and regular guys who thought their bodies had quit until they learned the truth. Most people avoid sweet drinks for fear of blood sugar spikes or health complications. But what if I told you that this specific cold drink not only helps circulation, but can boost blood flow to the penis within minutes? That's the power of nature, when science meets simplicity. No hidden ingredients, no complex formula, just 2 components that work in harmony with your body's natural rhythm. Today I'll reveal exactly how to make this drink, why it works so fast, and what real men are noticing within just 7 days of drinking it. We'll talk about how to pair it with simple habits to multiply its effects, and why your age is not a reason to give up, but the perfect reason to start now. Keep watching. The moment that changes your mornings might be just 1 glass away. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time to do it, especially if you're looking for simple, natural ways to boost your energy, circulation, and confidence after 60. Tap the bell so you never miss another tip made just for men like you. And if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and let me know how I can better support your journey. Alright, now let's get to the heart of it, because the truth is, most men over 60 aren't losing function because of age alone. The real issue is silent, and it creeps in gradually. Poor circulation. Without strong blood flow, especially to the lower body, even the healthiest intentions fall flat. That's why understanding how this cold drink helps unlock better circulation, starting right where you need it most, is the first step toward getting your vitality back. Let's break down exactly why this matters so much and the science behind it. When I first heard that a simple cold drink could increase blood flow to the penis in just 7 minutes, I was skeptical, like many of my colleagues. But then I saw the data, the research, and more importantly, I listened to my patients, men in their late 60s and 70s, many of whom had quietly struggled with intimacy and confidence, began reporting unexpected improvements. Not weeks later, days, sometimes even within the first 10 minutes after finishing their glass. The drink itself is deceptively simple: coconut water, chilled, and a few fresh mint leaves. That's it, but when combined, these 2 ingredients trigger something powerful. Coconut water is naturally rich in potassium and magnesium, 2 minerals essential for relaxing blood vessels and promoting healthy blood flow. Not only that, but it's also hydrating in a way most sugary drinks can't compete with, helping the body rebalance fluids and electrolytes without causing sugar spikes. Then comes the mint. Fresh mint contains natural compounds that ease inflammation, soothe the digestive system, and support blood flow. But more than that, it creates a cooling effect in the body, which triggers a natural physiological response. When we consume something cold, the body shunts blood toward vital organs to regulate core temperature. Combined with the nutrients in coconut water, that redirection of blood begins stimulating flow in areas that may have felt sluggish or unresponsive for years. This isn't about miracle cures, it's about giving your body the right conditions to respond the way it was always meant to. A cold drink made with intention, taken daily, can create a moment of calm, clarity, and connection. Not just physically, but emotionally too. And the science now supports what traditional cultures have known for generations. Nature often provides what we need if we're willing to pay attention. But here's what truly surprised me. It's not just that this drink works, it's how fast it works. And that speed is what led me to the next discovery, the best way to prepare it for maximum effect. Let me show you exactly how to prepare the drink. Once I understood how powerful this drink could be, I started recommending it to some of my older patients, men in their late 60s, early 70s, men who'd quietly accepted that their days of strong blood flow and intimate connection might be behind them. And you know what? The look on their faces after just a few days of trying it told me everything I needed to know. One man, Robert, 73, told me, "Doc, I didn't change a thing. I just started drinking that cold glass in the morning, and something came back." Here's how you make it. No fancy ingredients, no complicated prep, no kitchen gadgets, just a simple routine that takes less than a minute, but can help you feel completely different all day long. Start with 4 to 6 hours of unsweetened, pure coconut water, not the kind with added sugar or flavorings, just plain coconut water. Pour it into a glass and add 3 or 4 fresh mint leaves. Gently crush the leaves with the back of a spoon to release the essential oils. That's where the magic happens. The mint needs to infuse the liquid to trigger the full cooling and circulation-enhancing effects. Place the glass in the fridge and let it chill for at least 10 minutes. Some of my patients prepare it the night before and leave it in the fridge overnight. That way, it's ready the moment they wake up. Drink it slowly, preferably in the morning on an empty stomach or before a short walk. Don't gulp it down. Let your body absorb it with intention. This small act of self-care sends a message to your body. You're still paying attention, you still care, and you're still in the game. But here's where it gets really interesting. Why does this simple drink act so quickly? What's happening inside your body during those first 7 minutes that makes such a difference? That's what we'll uncover next. And once you understand that mechanism, you'll never look at cold drinks or your circulation the same way again. Why it works so fast? I'll be honest with you. When I first saw just how fast this drink could make a difference, even I was surprised. As a physician, I'm trained to expect gradual improvements over weeks, sometimes months. But we were seeing changes in minutes that begged the question, why does it work so quickly? Especially for older men who've struggled with sluggish circulation for years. The answer lies in the body's response to cold combined with key nutrients. When you drink something icy, your body instinctively activates a mechanism called vasoconstriction, tightening blood vessels to preserve core temperature. But shortly after, it rebounds with vasodilation, the widening of blood vessels to restore flow and balance. This rebound effect is powerful, and when combined with the potassium and magnesium from coconut water, it creates the perfect storm for increased blood flow. Potassium in particular helps regulate heart rhythms and opens up the blood vessels, allowing more oxygen-rich blood to reach areas that may have been neglected over time, like the pelvic floor and penile tissues. Magnesium works to relax muscles and reduce inflammation in the blood vessel walls, making circulation smoother and more efficient. The mint helps cool the body internally, soothe the digestive system, and enhance that thermogenic shift that sends blood exactly where it's needed most. What's beautiful about this process is how natural it is. There's no chemical stimulation, no artificial spike, just your body responding to the right signals. I've seen it work on men who'd nearly given up. One gentleman, age 76, told me, "It was like flipping a switch I thought had broken years ago." That kind of experience is not rare. It's becoming common, and that tells us we've been overlooking something simple but powerful all along. This brings us to a question I hear all the time. What kind of real results can I expect if I keep doing this every day? The answer is encouraging and surprisingly specific. Let me show you what can start happening in just 7 days. What to expect in 7 days? I always tell my patients not to expect miracles overnight, but do pay close attention to how your body responds over the next 7 days. Because when you consistently nourish it with something that supports circulation, hydration, and nerve function, your body doesn't just react, it begins to remember how it's supposed to feel. And in many cases, that memory kicks in faster than you'd think. Around day 2 or 3, some men report waking up with firmer morning erections. Not every time, but enough to notice. That's often the first sign that blood is flowing more freely through the pelvic region. Others mention feeling more alert, more balanced throughout the day. One gentleman, 68, told me, "It wasn't just down there. I felt sharper, steadier, like I had more in the tank." By the end of the week, men who had struggled with heaviness in the legs, cold feet, or that dull, drained feeling after meals often report a noticeable shift. The combination of minerals and hydration in coconut water, plus the cooling, anti-inflammatory effects of mint, help reduce bloating and ease blood vessel tension. This leads to more energy, better digestion, and for many, renewed interest in intimacy. But what strikes me most is how many men describe an emotional change. They feel hopeful again, motivated, like something is beginning to work with them, not against them. That subtle boost in confidence, it's not just psychological, it's chemical, it's physical, it's real. I always say if your body can show that kind of shift in just 1 week, imagine what's possible in 1 month. But here's the thing, the drink alone isn't the whole story. There are simple habits you can add that multiply its effect, and they don't require more time, effort, or money. In fact, you might already be doing them without realizing their power. Let me show you how to turn this into a complete morning routine that works quietly but powerfully in your favor. The emotional impact. I've spent over 3 decades working with men who rarely talk about how they really feel, not physically, but emotionally. Behind the labs, the blood pressure numbers, and the medications, there's often a quiet pain, the feeling of being disconnected from yourself, from your partner, from the version of you that used to feel strong, desired, and in control. And I've learned something powerful over the years. When a man starts to feel his body working again, even in small ways, something deeper begins to heal. This drink may seem like just a glass of cold coconut water with mint. But to many of my patients, it's become more than that. It's a small moment each day that reconnects them to a sense of agency, of doing something good for themselves. And when they notice changes, even subtle ones, like more warmth in the legs, less bloating, or a stronger response during intimacy, it sparks a shift. Not just in circulation, but in confidence. One patient told me, "It wasn't just that I felt better, I looked at myself in the mirror and didn't feel invisible anymore." That kind of transformation doesn't come from medication, it comes from restoring belief that your body still responds, that you're not beyond help, that you're still capable. And when a man starts to believe in his own vitality again, everything else in his life begins to shift too. How he moves, how he speaks, how he connects, that's the real impact. It's not about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming presence. But here's the beauty. Once you create that emotional momentum, you'll want to keep it going. And the easiest way to do that is by reinforcing this ritual with a few incredibly simple daily habits. These don't require supplements or gym time, just quiet, consistent actions that amplify results naturally. Let's talk about those next. Pair it with these gentle habits. One thing I've learned after decades of working with older men is this. It's not the big changes that transform your health, it's the small, repeatable habits done with care. And this drink, as powerful as it is, becomes even more effective when paired with a few simple daily practices that don't feel like work. In fact, most of them bring comfort and ease into your routine. Start with movement. I'm not talking about hitting the gym or running miles. A 10-minute walk in the morning, right after your drink, is often enough to stimulate circulation, activate muscles, and give your cardiovascular system the nudge it needs. Some men prefer light stretches by the window or even gentle leg raises while seated. The point is, movement tells your blood where to go, and the drink gives it the fuel to get there. Next, have a small protein-based snack about 15 to 20 minutes after your drink, something like a hard-boiled egg, a few almonds, or even a slice of whole-grain toast with nut butter. This helps stabilize blood sugar and prolong the energy you gain from the coconut water's minerals. Another habit I always recommend: breathe deeply. Sounds too simple but deep. Slow breathing helps dilate your blood vessels and reduce stress, a silent enemy of intimacy and energy. Combine deep breathing with your morning sip, and you've got a moment of calm that ripples through the rest of your day. Finally, consistency. These small habits mean little if done once or twice, but do them every day, even imperfectly, and your body starts to anticipate healing. And if you're wondering whether all of this still matters even if you're on medication or managing diabetes, heart conditions, or high blood pressure, the answer might surprise you. In fact, what I'm about to share may give you even more reason to try. Let's talk about safety, compatibility, and why this routine fits so well into nearly any health plan. You're not too old to try something new. One of the most painful lies I've heard from older men is, "It's too late for me." I've heard it said quietly in exam rooms, whispered with shame, or masked with humor to avoid the truth beneath it. And every time, I look that man in the eye and tell him, "No, it's not too late. Your body hasn't given up. You've just stopped giving it what it is." Trying something new at 60, 70, or even 80 isn't weakness, it's strength. It's choosing to believe that change is still possible, that life can still offer moments of vitality, joy, and connection. I've seen men in their 70s reclaim their morning energy. I've seen them rekindle intimacy in marriages that had gone quiet for years. And it didn't take surgery or prescriptions. It started with one small decision to stop accepting decline as destiny. This drink and the simple habits around it are not trends. They're not magic. They're gentle tools that help your body do what it was designed to do: heal, circulate, connect, and feel. And that doesn't disappear with age. It just needs the right invitation to return. So don't let fear or doubt stop you. You're not too old. You're experienced. You've earned the right to feel good in your own skin again, and you deserve to wake up each morning with something to look forward to, especially when it's as simple and refreshing as a glass of cold coconut water with mint. But before we wrap this up, there's one more thing I want to leave you with. A final reminder that brings everything together. Because this isn't just about circulation or even energy. It's about restoring something deeper. Let me show you what that is, and why it might be the most important part of this entire journey. Final words from Dr. Laura. If there's one thing I hope you take from this, it's that even the smallest change, done with care and consistency, can spark something powerful. You've just learned about a cold drink so simple it almost seems unbelievable. Coconut water and mint. That's it. But science shows us why it works. The minerals, the hydration, the natural cooling effect, and how all of it comes together to improve blood flow, especially where so many men need it most. And you've seen how quickly it can act. 7 minutes. That's not a gimmick. That's your body responding when given the right signal. But it doesn't stop at the drink. It's about the habits that surround it. Gentle movement, a small protein snack, deep breathing, a sense of intention in the morning. These aren't radical changes. They're subtle shifts that remind your body it's still capable, still strong, still worth investing in. More than that, this is about how you feel, not just physically, but as a man. I've sat with too many men who feel invisible or who carry quiet shame about what's changed with age. And I've seen the way that starts to lift when circulation improves, when energy returns, when intimacy feels possible again. That shift is real. It's not just about restoring function, it's about restoring dignity. Remember this, your age doesn't hold you back. It's where you begin. You've gained wisdom over the years. Now it's time to treat your body with the same care you've given others. You're not finished. You're just starting a fresh chapter. One that begins with a single glass, a deep breath, and a quiet morning where you choose yourself again. So give it a try. Do it tomorrow, not because I said so, but because you owe it to yourself to see what your body can still do, and when it works, because it will. I hope you'll come back and tell your story, because someone else, just like you, might need to hear that it's not too late for them.